All right. Well, hello everyone. We're here with Michael Froment, CEO from Commanders Act, and I'm Patrick Marais, co-founder and Chief Innovation Officer of Accengage. We're very happy to be presenting this webinar in common about how to interconnect the mobile channel to your DMP. So we'll be looking at how to accelerate user engagement on the mobile side, and also looking at DMPs and how they can connect with the mobile channel, and more specifically what interconnector was built between Commanders Act and Accengage. And then we'll be looking at very interesting use cases on how to leverage the data of your DMP and the mobile channel. So first, a very, very quick word on Accengage. So Accengage, for those who don't know us, we are the #1 European push notification technology. We've been around since more than 6 years now. We're 100 mobile experts. We have more than 300 blue chip customers, and we operate in more than 70 countries. Our SDK and our software is embedded in more than 750 million applications, and we send every month more than 6 billion push notifications. We have full coverage of the European markets, specifically Germany, France, Italy, Spain, the UK, but also all the other markets. And we also have a partnership in Japan, and we have customers from all over the globe. Now, this slide summarizes pretty well what our technology is about and what you can use it for. So it's really a SaaS technology which you can connect to in order to segment your messages, to personalize the content, to automate a lot of processes, both on the web interface but also using APIs. The data comes from all of your assets, so it can be a mobile application, a website, or a chatbot, and we can also connect with external tools, being typically DMPs, but also CRM tools, analytics, and so on. The contact channels that you're able to leverage are the most innovative and latest communication channels. So typically in the mobile apps, the push notifications, but also the in-app messages. For the websites, you're able to send push notifications on your websites, and also now you're able to send Facebook Messenger push notifications for your chatbots. Here are some of our customers. So we have customers from various industries, mostly large corporations. So it can be companies in the e-commerce or retail industries. So also banks, travel companies, mobile carriers, dating applications or sites, media players, of course. So lots of different companies, all of them have the same goal, which is to engage their customers. Now, let's look at how you can really accelerate your mobile channel and also the different possibilities that you have in other channels. And we'll then see how to connect it with your DMP and how you can really leverage this connection and what type of use cases you can then put in place. So let's first look at push notifications for mobile apps. So you probably know this channel. It's a great channel. It's really super important for the loyalty of your mobile applications. And what you may not know is that it's now a very rich media, and you can really add a lot of new possibilities to your push notification. So it's really not anymore a channel where you can have basically text. Typically now you can add images inside your Android push notifications directly inside the notification center. Same for iOS with the iOS 10 latest innovations. So you can expand the notification and see some very nice visuals. And you can also add animated GIFs to your iOS push notifications. And that's not just all, because you can also send now videos with iOS 10 directly in your push notifications. So you can see here that we're sending a trailer for Games of Thrones. Okay, so the video launches automatically, and then it's really great a channel with a lot more reactions, as you can add 15 to 50% of reactions when you add those rich media attachments to your push notifications. Now, when we talk about mobile apps, it's not only about push notifications. We also have the capacity to send and to display in-app messages. So these messages are different formats that appear inside the application. So when the users are directly inside the applications and they're just a few clicks away from using a new feature or converting on a certain purchase and so on. So you can see that there are like alert boxes, they can be also banners, they can be full screen interstitials. And all of these formats have the same targeting capacities as push notifications, and you can also trigger them in real time based on what the users have been doing. So the idea is that push notifications are there to bring users back inside the app, and the in-app messages are there to stimulate a certain behavior or to promote a certain offer to a targeted group of users. So once they're inside the application, and it's really the best way to increase the conversions. That's what we see as when you start using in-app messages, you can really increase by twice the level of conversion rates of your applications. Now, as I said, it's not only the mobile app channel that you should consider, as you now have the possibility to send push notifications to your websites and to your website visitors. So that's a very new channel which has been accelerating widely because Facebook has adopted it, as well as Twitter and also LinkedIn. So it's great, and it's driving a lot more engagement to your websites. And really, it's the idea that you can send push notifications to your website visitors, so even if they don't have an app, and even if they're not on your website anymore. So let's look at how it works. First of all, your users go on your website, and you need to ask a permission to send them those web or browser push notifications. So if we look at this example of Jumia, Jumia is the leading African e-commerce player, and they are a subsidiary of Rocket Internet, the largest world incubator. So when the users go on Jumia and they visit the Jumia homepage, well, they click on a product category, so they go on a certain page, and you can see that we trigger a permission, like a marketing message that you control, in which you can have the creative that you want, the message that you want, and where you explain the benefits of those web and browser push notifications. If the user accepts that, then we trigger the official browser permission. Now, this is something which is technical. It's the fact that the user will actually give the permission to the browser to receive push notifications. So on that, you don't have really the control on the design, the wording. And once they accept it, that's it. The user is opt-in, and we're then able to send them web push notifications. The user doesn't need to enter anything, no email address, no mobile number or anything. That's also the great part of this technology. So what happens if the user looks at a product on the Jumia page, but doesn't go through with a purchase? So they leave the website. At a later stage, you can send a push notification that will appear on the browser of the user. as you can see, with a little pop-up or pop-in at the right bottom part of the browser. And you can see there's like an image, the message is completely customizable, and when the user clicks on that message, they go on a new tab on their browser, and they can then finalize their purchase. So this technology is extremely interesting and has a very strong results. So we had a chance of showcasing this technology and this use case at the Google I/O. So it was directly presented by Google, and the results are astonishing. So typically, this abundant basket use case had an average click rate of 38%. So out of 100 people that received those push notifications, both on mobile and desktop, 38% would actually click on that web push notification. And on top of that, you would have a conversion rate of nearly 8%. So that's extremely high. So what was measured is that the people that received those web push notifications would actually convert 9 times more than the people who did not receive those web push notifications. So today for Jumia, but also for a lot of our customers, this web push technology, web push notification capacity is becoming a very important channel in order to increase the revenues and the loyalty of their users. Now, in order to integrate this this technology, it's actually very fast and simple. Basically, we provide a JavaScript that you need to integrate into your website. So you can directly implement this JavaScript in your website code, or typically, you can use Commanders Act tag management system in order to implement the JavaScript, and also to tag the different information that you would like in order to transform them into targeting criteria, and that goes actually even faster. Now, the latest channel that you can leverage and that can really be interesting for you are Facebook Messenger push notifications. And they are also multi-channel. You can send those push notifications on the mobile devices, but also on the desktop devices. So what is it? Well, it's the capacity that you have to send push notifications to people who have interacted with your Facebook Messenger bot. So if I look at a certain Facebook page, for instance here, TechCrunch, I can click on message, and that will actually launch a discussion. And if I click on get started, I will launch a discussion with the TechCrunch bot. And these bots can be actually very simple. Of course, we hear a lot about the artificial intelligence bots, but you can actually have some very simple bots that have like branch logic scenarios, or that just provide you with a very interesting content. So in this example, if I click on get started, and so I start this conversation with a bot, well, that's it. I'm actually opt-in, and I will be able to receive Facebook Messenger push notifications at a later stage. So I can, finish this conversation and so on. But at a later stage, I will be able to receive push notifications on all the different devices that I have a Facebook Messenger experience with. So typically, I can receive a push notification in my Facebook portal on desktop. And if I have Facebook Messenger application installed on my mobile device, I will receive directly a push notification on my mobile device. So it's extremely powerful, because if you've opted in on desktop, you will receive it also on mobile, or the other way around. And it's very innovative channel. Now, what we here wanted to show you are some interesting and at the same time also easy use cases. This is the use case of TF1. TF1 is the largest television channel in France and also actually in Europe. They created a bot using the Accengage technology for their TV show called Secret Story. Secret Story is the equivalent in France of Big Brother. So they created a bot, and then every day they would send targeted information to their users that interacted with this bot. So here we have an example where we have the Secret Story, let's say, host that sends a message to the users who wants to know which are the favorite candidates. So here the final user can click on that messenger possibility. I mean, directly in Facebook Messenger application, they can click on who are the different candidates. And then they see and they can flick between the different candidates. And if I'm interested by Melanie, I can follow her news and click on that button. And then this enriches the database and the information on that user. And therefore, this user will receive at a later stage targeted news on this candidate, so Melanie. So extremely easy and at the same time very interesting use case of leveraging those Facebook Messenger bots to send targeted and interesting messages to the customers. And that actually brought 100,000 additional visits to the TF1 Secret Story website. And of course, that brings more monetization. So now I will leave Michael to explain more about the connector and of course about Commanders Act and the connector that was built with Accengage.
Thanks, Patrick. Let's start with a brief description of Commanders Act for people who maybe don't know us yet. Commanders Act is a European company that helps digital teams to work better thanks to data. So as a consequence, online marketing solutions and advertising efficiency are improved. And more precisely, in the context of digital transition, we deliver to our clients a SaaS platform enabling marketing teams to turn their marketing strategy fully customer-centric. So we do it through a portfolio of 4 SaaS solutions. The first one, maybe you know it already, is Tag Commander. So formerly, the name of Commanders Act was Tag Commander, and we decided to rebrand our company in order to welcome the new expertise we developed since 6 years. So Tag Commander is a tag management solution, enterprise tag management solution. Then we have Data Commander. Data Commander is a DMP, a data management platform, so enabling our clients to build their data assets and increase the performance of their campaign. Then we have a third product named Mix Commander. So Mix Commander is a SaaS solution about attribution management. So trying to help marketing teams to decide about the credit of a conversion to a partner. And the last solutions we work on is Fuse Commander, and in Fuse Commander we are working on the reconciliation of the digital identities of our customers, generally speaking. So trying to reconcile the CRM IDs with the digital IDs in order to feed more efficiently the campaigns. So that's who we are and the 4 products we are delivering to the market today. So we are delivering a platform, a unified platform, an integrated platform, mixing these 4 components that will help our clients to deliver a modern and performant marketing. In terms of figure, our headquarters is in Paris, and we are running our operations from Paris. And we rely on a German team located in Munich, an Italian team located in Milan, A part of the French team is also in Lille, in the north of France, to work closely with the e-commerce players, the key e-commerce players of the French market. And we have also an international consulting team located in Amsterdam for travel purposes, and who work with many of our international clients. We have been founded 6 years ago. We now you can see a lot of figures on the screen, but basically 6 years ago, 6 years of experience is a key point. We used to deliver more than 1,700 clients successfully. We have been registering a nice growth since our creation. We are a 60-people team, a little bit more than 400 clients, and we especially work with 3 fields of activity: retail and e-commerce, also banking, finance, and insurance. And the last one, the last part, a big part of our portfolio of clients, is about travel and tourism. And well, that's facts and figures. That's a little bit massive, but it helps you to clearly understand who we are with selected figures. In terms of clients, we welcome now a little bit more than 400 clients. As you can see here on the screen, we are working with almost all fields of activity. Of course, retail, bank, finance, insurance, travel, as we said, but also e-commerce, media and telco, food and beverage, utilities, and a lot of brands work with us in the fashion industry due to our location in France and in Italy also. We also work with all kinds of size of clients. So 70% of our portfolio of clients is enterprise clients, but we also work with startups or with middle-sized companies. So let's say that the kind of topics we are covering and the kind of solutions we are delivering to the market is clearly adapted to all kinds of clients. The topic we will go through today with Patrick, I think that starting from this example, this small picture on the screen could be valuable. So let's start from a very basic situation that you all know and that you have all experience on your website. Let's start with 4 visitors who made 4 different kinds of visits on your website, and you will agree with me that, of course, the different visits have different value. The first visitor made a single page visit, so a low value. And the last one, the green guy at the end, made converted during this visit, so of course a more valuable visit. And in between, you've got 2 different situations. One with someone who had a look at the products catalog but didn't went further, and the last one who went through the catalog of product and also decided to add a product in his cart and start to engage in a funnel, in conversion funnel. So what I would like to say about this small image, that let's say that during the last 20 years, your vision of this reality has been essentially focused on a web analytics approach. So trying just to summarize who did and how many people did a single page visit, how many people abandoned their cart, and how many went up to conversion. So it was reporting purposes and analytics purposes where you wanted to understand what was happening on your website. The vision today is a little bit different, and we are entering into, we started 2-3 years ago to enter into a new paradigm. This new paradigm is the perfect illustration of what we try to build with Accengage today. The idea is to use each information as a trigger for an action. So the purpose here is no more to just have a look at what happened, but use what has happened as a start for a new campaign. And that's exactly the focus of the business case that Patrick will present further. So the idea is to use each behavior on a website, each signal sent to your systems, to your marketing by visitors, to build campaigns and build better and more performant campaigns. So here on this example, we are essentially focused on navigation, on-site navigation. But of course, by extension, we could have a broader view of your audiences. So, for example, having a focus on navigation is, of course, very interesting because through his navigation, a visitor is sending a lot of signals about what is interesting for him today. But of course, it's a part of the global vision you would like to build. So you have to mix this information about on-site behavior with CRM information, or also with ad-centric information. So, of course, I'm traveling, visiting today a website, and I'm sending signals, but perhaps I started to send signals much before. For example, when I was exposed to the first campaign of WeGo, let's take an example that we will go through today again. Or same thing, through my CRM information, through all what I decided to share with the brand, perhaps I also sent a lot of signals. So the idea is to access to this data and reconcile this data in order to get a global view on each of your customers, each of your prospects, as soon as they start to engage a discussion with your marketing materials. So starting with navigation, but then extending your vision to ad-centric approach or CRM-centric approach. And that's what we try to build today with our approach on the market and our portfolio of products. But let's now jump into the connector between Accengage and Commanders Act. And let's start perhaps by the most important things. I mean, the benefits of this connector. The idea of this connector is to help you to interconnect the mobile channel to your DMP in order to leverage the data collected on all channels. That's exactly what we just described, generally speaking, a few slides ago. And that's what we try to deliver through this connector between Accengage and Commanders Act. So why? First, in order to be able to take advantage of more data. It's every data non-used is a loss, is a direct loss of an asset, which is quite strategical today. Of course, the second benefit will be to be able to better personalize. Better personalize means using all the signals that a customer or a prospect has sent to engage in a smarter way the communication with him. Third one, use of triggers. Of course, I give you a few examples. Abandon of cart, for example, is one, but of course, we will go through much more case studies then that will give you concrete opportunities to leverage very quickly. Fourth benefits, integrate offline data, because of course, the idea will be not only to be online centric, but to be also omni-channel centric. So being able to integrate data, behaviors, signals coming from a store, coming from a mobile device, or from the web, or from a call center, everything will be collected, integrated, reconciliated in the context of the GMP Commanders Act. And then, of course, just because our clients are omni-channel or multi-channel, set up a multi-channel marketing, a multi-channel logic that will help you to be more performant and more connected with your clients. So the global proposition of value proposition of this connector is to allow you to leverage all the data available about your clients and prospects in order to set up advanced cross-device campaigns. That's the point of value that we built with Accengage. So let's have a look at the way the connector between Accengage and Commanders Act work. The first step, the SDK will send mobile information to the Accengage database. Second step, the Accengage API will update the user's data in the GMP, and with matching keys that can be either the device ID or the customer ID. Third step, instant broadcast of messages from the DMP with the ability to transfer more data in order to improve the segmentation, the personalization capabilities, and broadcast from the Accengage interface. Fourth step, Accengage will send the message to the mobile of the user. And of course, Accengage will get the campaign reactions. So the metrics regarding the engagement of the user with the message received. And last part of the process, Accengage will deliver to Commanders Act through the Get Statistics API the information regarding the metrics of the campaign. Information that will be useful for two reasons, at least. First, of course, for reporting purposes. And second options will be just to feed the profile of the user with his reaction to the campaign. So it will be quite useful to get the history of the reaction, just to understand which channel and which kind of push should be activated for each profile of the DMP. Then, if we look in the data commander interface, how it looks like, you will start with the first page displaying all the connectors we are proposing to our clients. On the first line, you can identify the Accengage connectors presented here, and you will have the ability to select the connector and to go through several steps in order to customize it perfectly. What is useful and needs to be realized now, it's that it's really a plug-and-play connector. So it's like a library of connector, and once you selected the right connector, you will just follow a few steps in order to customize your connector, finalize the customization, and benefit from the value proposition. So the second step will be, for example, to face such a form where you will be able to customize a little bit more your connector, your Accengage connector. For example, here in the context of a real-time sending via APIs. So you will have, you can recognize a few fields like the Accengage API key, the Accengage partner ID, the Accengage email, and so on. So you just have to fill the form with the right information in order to finalize the activation of the connector. Of course, if real-time is not needed in your business case, you can also use FTP process. So in a FTP process, you will face this interface with the form, the following form. Among the comments that can be made, of course, you will be able to customize, to schedule your FTP, your flow of data. And of course, to define a duration, a beginning date, end date, and also a frequency that can be useful. So two ways to work with the connector, one in real time through API, and another one through FTP, depending on the use case you've got in mind. Last elements of configuration, you will be able to select the variable. So the type of information that you want to be part of this flow of data. So you can see on the screen few variable in gray. So you will be able to check this box or uncheck this box in order to select or unselect the different information and feed the process correctly. So we went through all what could be demonstrated here in order to allow you to realize concretely how it works and how it can be done. And now we will, I will give back the end to Patrick so that he can go through the use case we have in mind today for the market and what we did, especially with WeGo. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Michael, for this information. Okay, now let's look more at some concrete examples of use cases about how you can leverage the Commanders Act and connector with Accengage, and how you can really use this multi-channel information. So for some really interesting examples. So let's look at some examples of multi-channel retargeting of abandoned baskets. So imagine a user that has been on your website, on your desktop website, and that has looked at a product, added it to the basket, but didn't go through with the purchase. Well, all of that, of course, is captured by your DMP, and that gives you then the possibility to retarget this user on your mobile application, so using and leveraging the mobile push notifications to remarket this user and say, well, your basket looks pretty full, come back to finalize your purchase. And therefore the user can finalize the purchase either in the mobile app or on the website. So here you're really leveraging the information that has occurred on the desktop site, and you are then using the mobile push notification channel to increase your revenues and to increase the conversion. And here you would use as a matching key either the email address, but you could also use the account ID if the user had already logged in. You can do the same by integrating also the email channel. So if we look at this e-commerce website, so the user is on the website, looks at a product, adds it to the basket, but doesn't go through with the purchase. Well, in the first place, this user receives an email remarketing message. And if this message is not opened by the user, then all of that is always captured by your DMP, and therefore you're able to trigger a mobile push notification to that user to finalize the purchase and to increase the conversion. So same type of use case as the first one, except you can also add a view to your other channels, so such as the email marketing channel. So here the matching key would also be the email address, or it can be also the account ID if the user had already logged in. Now, that's another interesting use case for retargeting in the e-commerce field. And that's how you can leverage both web push notifications and also display retargeting. So I'm sure that a lot of you are already doing display retargeting campaigns, and you're leveraging your DMP to do so. Well, typically the idea of that use case is to minimize the cost of those retargeting campaigns if you already have the web push channel enabled for some of your users. So the idea is that if somebody has abandoned a cart and hasn't finalized a purchase, well, if the user is already opt-in to web push notifications, then you don't need to add more media costs. You can just very simply retarget that user leveraging web push notifications because that is your own channel. You don't need to pay for additional messages that you send to your users. However, if the user is opt-out to web push notifications or has never enabled web push notifications, then you can leverage that user you can remarket this user using display retargeting. So by doing that, you're really minimizing the cost of your retargeting campaigns by focusing on the opt-in users web push and send them web push notifications. And for those who do not have the web push, then you of course have the retargeting, the display retargeting campaigns that you can leverage. And all of that, of course, is viewed by the DMP, and all the data is captured by the DMP, which can then orchestrate this type of campaigns. Now, if we look at purchases in a store, this information can be also stored in the DMP, and therefore it can be leveraged in order to send some multi-channel campaigns. So here in this example, a customer of yours makes a purchase inside a store. This information is captured by the DMP, and the next day you can then trigger a push notification on mobile to ask for a satisfaction survey. So you can really leverage some interesting new communication channel at a very low cost and built over this multi-channel purchase, which was captured by the DMP. So in that case, the matching key would be the email address or the loyalty card ID. Now, what you can also do is look at the behavior of your users towards your advertisements. So here we look at a user that is looking at a product ad inside a mobile app, so about this specific TV set. So if the user clicks on that ad and then consults the different information but doesn't make an actual purchase, then what you can do is leverage this information, and when a user comes next to a store, you have the possibility to target that user and trigger in real time a message to encourage the user to finalize the purchase inside the store. So that's a very interesting use case, because you know that there's an interest for certain products and an interest for your brand, and you've seen that in other mobile apps, and you can leverage the matching key, which can be the IDFA or the Google Advertiser ID, so for iOS and Android, and therefore inside your app you can trigger mobile push notifications, but to those who are close to one of your retail shops. So very, very interesting multi-channel use case here. Now, what we thought would be interesting is also to show you the use case of a certain customer that has used this connector between Commanders Act and Accengage, and what are the use cases that are already in place and the ones that are being implemented. So for those who do not know, Ouigo is a bus company in France, which is managed by the French National Railway, so SNCF. So they have been a customer of Commanders Act and Accengage for a certain time, and they wanted to implement this connector and to leverage the data that they have on a multi-channel basis. So first use case is very interesting. It's being able to send targeted mobile push following searches that have occurred on the Ouigo website. So here we're really retargeting customers that have made a search for certain trips or a certain bus trip on the Ouigo website, but haven't finalized the transaction. So what we're doing is that we're matching the customers based on their email key. So it's a cross-device matching. So each of the users that are looking at a certain trip on the website are identified with their email address with the Commanders Act DMP. And every 2 hours, the Commanders Act DMP sends a user list, which has basically the list of the users that are targeted by these use cases, and all of the personalization data that will be needed for the message on the mobile application and push notification channel. So the information that is sent is the email address, the actual, of course, list of users that haven't finalized the purchase, and also some personalization fields such as the station of departure and arrival and the date of the trip that was looked for. So in practice, this user will then receive a mobile application push notification, so on their mobile device, although the search occurred on the website, saying, for instance, your ticket for Marseille to Paris on May the 17th is waiting for you, book it fast. So that's a very interesting use case, of course. The idea is to increase the revenues and the conversions on a multi-channel perspective. Now, second use case, which is also live, is upselling use case. So the idea is that certain customers that have bought a ticket with no specific options will then receive push notifications that encourage them to add more options to their travel. So how does that work? So when the users go on the website, there's of course an identifier, which can be the email address, and whenever they fall into that category of making a purchase with no travel option, then they get basically transmitted from Commanders Act to Accengage with a certain level of personalization field. So same as for the first use case, every 2 hours we get at Accengage this list of users. And of course, this is comprised of the email address, but also the date of the trip and the options that are most relevant for that user. So it can be typically, having access to the quiet space, having access to a power socket, so that the user can then watch television shows during the trip. And also, if you have a lot of luggages, you could also benefit from the luggage, option. So that's also an interesting use case. Something that we're currently working on, which is not live but is on the verge of being live, is to reward loyal customers on a multi-channel basis. So the idea is that there are some users that have made several purchases over the last 12 months, but they are now inactive on the website. And we want to activate them with a certain promo code. And we want to do that basically on all the different channels. So the idea is that every 2 hours, the Commanders Act DMP is sending the list of users that fall in that category with a personalization data, using the email address as a customer matching key. And at Accengage, so we receive those lists. We see exactly what devices correspond to those email address. We have access to the number of purchases of these loyal customers, and also to an event that should be triggered inside the application in order to show that message also with an in-app version of the message. And then, of course, we have the actual promo code. So the idea is that those loyal customers will receive both a push notification, so if they're not inside the application, so to really encourage them to make a purchase. But if they also arrive inside the application, they will also see this in-app message in the form of an alert box. So yeah, very interesting activation both on push notification and also in-app messages, and leveraging the omni-channel or multi-channel behavior of the users. Other use case that is being developed and that will be very soon in production is the idea to offer a promo code via push notifications to people that have been unsatisfied with a certain trip. So that's based on a low rating which was given by a customer after a specific travel. So that's of course an information that the DMP captures. So Commanders Act has access to this information, and therefore they are sending Accengage the list of the users that correspond to that category, and with certain personalization fields. So here at Accengage, we receive the email address of these users, the number of purchases, the value of the promo code, and of course the actual promo code. And therefore, we're able to send mobile push notifications to those specific users, saying, "Oh, you've experienced an inconvenience, and we're sorry about that. So as a compensation, we're offering you a €10 discount on your next trip with the promo code." And then we give the promo code. So as you can see, very targeted messages based on multi-channel behavior and also satisfaction information, and personalized content for each of the users. Now, something that we're also thinking about, and that would be typically possible with all the data that is exchanged, is a referral use case, where we want to encourage users that have made a certain number of purchases, so typically 5 multi-channel purchases within the last 12 months, but they've been inactive on the website for 30 days, and therefore we want to activate them in a certain way by giving them access to a code, promo code, if they refer a friend. So how does it work? Same as for the rest. The Commanders Act DMP identifies the users that fall into that category, and they're able to send every 2 hours a list to Accengage. And we get, of course, the list of users through their email address, the number of purchases, and also the value of the promo code. And we make the matching with the devices, and therefore we're able to send the right message to the right user saying, oh, thank you for your loyalty, why not sponsor a friend and win 10 euros? And that can also occur with an in-app message inside the application. So as you can see, some really interesting use cases and that can help you to leverage your DMP and also your mobile channel. So we really like to thank you a lot for your attention. I'd like also to thank both the Commanders Act and the Accengage teams for putting together this common webinar. So it's really interesting to have a partnership like that to facilitate the use of the data on a multi-channel basis. And between different tools. So we're very happy about this partnership between Accengage and Commanders Act. If you are interested by this presentation, if you want to have a recording of the webinar, don't hesitate to contact us at either contact@accengage.com or contact@commandersact.com. You can also ask us any questions that you may want, and we'll be very happy to answer them. Now, before I let you go, it's interesting for us, for Commanders Act and for Accengage, to understand the level of satisfaction towards these webinar and the content, and to understand how we can improve that. So we just have a very some very little questions to ask you before you leave, and that's of course very important for us. So I'd like to thank you, to thank Michael for putting this webinar together, to thank you for your attention, and now I'll leave Nicholas to launch the quick questions. So thank you again for your attention, and hope to see you very soon for either a Commanders Act or an Accengage webinar. Thank you very much. Bye bye.